Hello everyone. So yesterday we did this. It's coming along nicely. I did some details off stream. I fixed a bit the. Let me choose a different viewport rendering method because it's a bit slow. So I changed a bit. I cleaned up this a bit. It was a bit. Okay, 1 second. So Q wireframe. I will still have some mistakes. So you have these because we did we did fill the vertices, we didn't just cut them with a knife. So what we end up with is faces that sometimes are not merged. And I'm having some sort of a bug, I'm not sure why, where I'm not seeing the full wireframes in the viewport. So whenever I'm not editing an object, maybe it's because so yeah, that's on me. So I have the wireframes slider pulled down, so this is why I don't see the full wireframes of the objects, but so yeah, it's working fine now. So what did I do? I added just the hint of this one. The satellite dishes, we're gonna do more. I did a bit more structure details. I added these more edges. You know what? It was looking better without all of this stuff, so let's do this. I added a small window in here, and the biggest thing, I wasn't happy with how we had an opening in the roof. So instead of this, I reverted the circulation. So when you go up the stairs, you go to the right and then up. And this volume, I also was trying to do a lamp, that we'll be back to it later on. Okay. Like this looks nice, this looks like an old building, like this kind of stuff. Maybe I will add a small room in here, so you'll have a bit like an extension. It might look nice. Maybe something in here. We'll see, we'll get to the roof. Or maybe I'll add like a small roof room. That could be nice. Like a third small floor. We do have lots of these, and then on top of it we'll have like the water tanks, the big water tank, and then like small water tanks for each shop. Maybe some solar panels in here, and like of course more dishes, more like satellite. I don't know what they call. We call them dish in here. They look like a dish. And maybe we'll add a bit more like water tanks in here, and like some stuff. Anyways, but for now, the thing that I want to address that I think will add a lot of character to this quickly, and yeah, I just arranged a bit the shops. So this is like a garage kind of thing, mechanic. That will like maybe we'll add some cars or more recycles in here, or like some tool desks. This is gonna be like small grocery stores, small refrigerator. Of course, we're gonna do all of these details. But for now, let's do this. First, let's see if the rotation is set. Let's reset the scale. Make sure the scale is fine. The location is, I don't really care about the location for this. And I have on my other screen, I'm gonna show it to you quickly. I have these things. So these are references. As like I don't try to copy exactly what I'm seeing. Like this is fine. This has a bit more details. So we're just trying to recreate the feel of this thing. Okay, so once we do one of these, then we can, I'm gonna put it back in space. Uno minuto. And once we finish this, then we can like spread it across, maybe one here, we have one in here, we have two in here. And like this can be for this shop. Maybe we can add one somewhere here. We'll see. These are the outdoor units. Then of course there are indoor units, but they're not gonna show. Even though I'm doing some interior, I'm not gonna go high detailed on the interior. So if you're gonna assume like there's a split unit in here, there's a split unit in there from this. Maybe there's a split unit down in the shop somewhere here. These are not window types. Maybe we can do like, maybe this is for here, maybe we can add another one for like here or here. And that's it. It's not a big building, it's just one residence, so it won't have lots of these stuff. Maybe we need to add some planters, it will look nice also, but not during the stream. Let's see what we can do. Anyways, that's it. And this is part of this project that I'm doing. The whole details are on my Patreon. Link in the description below. It's mostly for free. All of the posts are for free. There is just you can also find assets for free over there. There are also creative studies, creative discussions, also all public. You can only there is a support tier, $5 per month, just for you to support at least for the first 6 months, and later on, of course, we're gonna be rolling some members only content on it. So that's it. And now, so I'm just gonna just like I did with the building. First, I'm gonna separate the big parts. So what I see is there's a top part and there's a front part. I'm not measuring. It's not that type of project, so you have to worry about everything. I already have like the basic the basic proportion done, so I'm not worried about that. So the more details you add, like small stuff, the better it looks, especially when you're talking hard surface modeling. Okay, so this first, then let's inset a bit. I'm suffering a bit with the inset, I'm not sure why it's being a bit too sensitive. Okay, then I'm gonna scale this a little bit. Yeah, everything is reacting a bit too much. Even though I'm working on scale, the scale is like centimeters and meters. That's not that. I'm not working in millimeters. I'm just not sure why it's behaving like this. So I'm gonna mention a bit of my shortcuts. So when I press Ctrl L, I do a cut loop. That's it. And LZ, we go into X-ray mode. Then you select the vertices. Double G to slide it on the edges. I don't really need the double G now, but just let me see. Double G, yeah, because there is no need to slide. You have the x-axis, you can just slide it on the x-axis. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna make this a bit smaller, just like the image. Then in here we have like a small panel that's extruded a little bit outward, so ear to extrude. And then easily right now we can just, I don't know if you can do just this and then move, yeah. Then Ctrl B. So if you're selecting the face and then you select edges, you kinda automatically select the edges of that. We can control the shapes of that bevel a little bit. And maybe less segments. Yep. Also, what I'm gonna do, what happened? What's happening, man? What? What the hell is happening? So in edit mode, we do have the bevel implemented. So I'm gonna press. Yeah, but in object mode it disappears. Is this because of the wireframe thing? Seriously? So is the wireframe affecting the geometry as well? Because... oh, so the bevel didn't do anything. Maybe because we altered the shapes. Undo, undo, undo. So again, select the face, select the edges, Ctrl B, whatever. The width. So nothing is happening. And I think this is because of the shape. Yeah, that's my fault. So when I pushed the shape a lot, it kinda affected it. but then we can play with the profile here. Let's make sure it has a different flow. If we add more segments, what does this happen? Yeah, a bit less with less segments. So much segments, and maybe let's just adjust it a bit. Change the type to something with handles so you can smooth it a bit more. And yeah, that's it. So now when yeah, that's a cool feature. If you go to the viewport overlaps and you reduce the wireframes, it kind of reduces a bit the numbers of lines, which makes it a bit easier to view, but then when you go to edit mode, you see everything. So this is a nice hack. All right, again, so now the whole thing has to be a bit inward. I should have beveled these edges as well. I don't know if I can do it right now. Okay, you know what? Forget it for now. We can do it later if we want to. Okay, the next thing is we need to have the opening for the fan, which is the most important. So we're gonna start with the cylinder. Left view, rotate by 90 degrees. Then does it have dimensions in here? Yeah, let's do it maybe like 20 centimeters for now. Just place it anywhere in here and move it here. So now that we can see it, we can do things with it. So let's do it maybe half a meter. That's too much. Maybe 45 centimeters in diameter. Maybe a bit less, like 42, something like this. Yeah. So the question right now becomes, what's the best way to create the hole? Should we do a Boolean or should we do it ourselves? I think I'm gonna try the Boolean way. So I'm gonna first duplicate this, put it on the side. And then I think the Boolean is a modifier. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is a modifier. And then we select the second object, and then it's gonna be a difference. I think we're gonna go for fast. Let's hide this. Okay, so the cool thing is that Blender keeps the object, but I think if you move it, you move the Boolean as well. So you cannot touch it. That's fine. That's actually not a bad solution. I think I'm gonna apply it just so we can solve a bit some of the issues. Let's hide this for now. Let's clean up the topology a bit. So what's happening? I don't really care about having like the most perfect topology in here, so it's fine. I'm just gonna add one face in the middle like this. I'm gonna delete these two, Ctrl X, dissolve the edges. It didn't dissolve. And the issue why is because I think this is one edge, so let's dissolve this edge first, then let's connect these two together. You have to press space OK, then space K for the knife, pick the first vertex, the second vertex, then press space. And now I think we can dissolve these because we have supporting edges. The second thing is we're adding some vertical support for this shape. Let's go vertex view so we can see what we're doing. Let's cut with the knife. 1, And let's cut with the knife here too. Now we can do some side diagonals ones. That's not gonna be animated, that's not gonna be like, I don't think there's gonna be some collision to it. So if you have more than 4 faces and stuff like this, that's fine. 4 vertices faces, that's also fine. You don't have to worry about this a lot. Now, the inside of it, I think I'm gonna, that's gonna hold, like, gonna be having the fan inside of it. Now, of course, we can just take everything and merge it, like just delete this and then, you know, I think I can do that. Why not? Let's pick all the faces in here. Let's extrude along the normals. How should we extrude this? Let's see. So extrude, right click, scale, bring them inside by distance, and they decided to combine at the center. So this is this. So that's already like doing something. It's not perfect yet, but that's doing something. We still have a lot to do. So back to the reference image. Now let's unhide. We don't need both. We have this one. Alright, so I think I'm gonna start with this. We're gonna make it a little bit bigger. X-ray is not available in this mode. Okay. So this is, so let's do it 0.43 or maybe 43 centimeters and a half, maybe 44. Yep, that's better. Let's look at it from this side. Let's insert this a bit here. That's perfect. Let's separate this so we can use it for like the fans plastics. That would be cool. Then let's hide this one for now. Okay, so what do we have in here? We have overlapping faces. Let's delete one of them. Then let's take these edges, Alt select, then extrude on the Y. Just drag it inside like this. Then let's pick these faces, this face, then go to select. It should be select flat faces or something like this. Linked flat faces. I should add it to my, yeah, I actually have it to my quick favorites. I should use it more. I kind of forgot about this. Okay. So we have this. Let me bring back my reference image. I should put it somewhere different. Yeah, let's bevel the edges here. So let's go to the edges. I think we need just to select the edges, not everything. Yo, so this and this. Then let's Control B. You know what? Let's put anything now because we should redo it anyway. So here, let's do the super ellipse, the regular one. Let's do the 0.5. 0.5. Let's offset by a normal number. Reduce the segments. That's too many segments for something that's not gonna show. Mark seams, mark sharp. That's fine. We don't need more than this. So this is step number 1. Then step number 2 is to do the small rings. Let's do that. So Alt H. Alt H. So we're gonna use this. Let me duplicate it first just to make sure that I have a copy if something went wrong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first insert the first circle. Man, why is it always stuck at 0? It's not the depth, it's the thickness. The thickness, yeah. So this is this. It's the middle one that kind of holds the fan axis. Can I loop? Okay, so if I can loop edges, we need something like this. Then if we can bevel this, bevel. The bevel is the most annoying feature so far. No, I have to say the inset is. Alright, then if we extrude this a bit, or maybe prior to extruding it, let's delete the faces, select everything, and then extrude a bit outwards. Then let's just move it backwards like this. Alright, next. Now we want to do the cover of the fan. Now this is a bit tricky. I don't know really how to do it. Let me think. First of all, because we need to use this as a center, so let's set the origin to geometry. Let's create maybe a Bezier curve. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a curve, then I'm gonna do an array. Maybe around this curve. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create not a mesh, Shift A, curve, circle. Where is it? It's here. Okay, so bring it somewhere to this. So what we're gonna do is Shift S, cursor to selected. The cursor is hidden, but it is there, trust me. Then what we're gonna do is Shift S, selected to cursor. Then we should be on a different view. Which is it? Which one is it? It's none of the above. It's here. Then this is around 0.44, maybe less. 0.42. 0.41. Yep. Now wait. Okay, next. Let's create a Bezier. It's a Bezier curve. It looks already like this. What we should do first is rotate it 90 degrees. Scale it. I'm not gonna scale, you know, I'm gonna just change the dimensions. I think we're gonna scale. You know what? Let's change the control points. It is something that's like this. So what I'm gonna do, first top view, make sure that everything is on the same axis. Okay. There's So first let's align it. There's something called the polar array or circular arrays or something like this. I don't know how to do it, but let's see. Let's first Shift S, cursor to selected, and then origin to cursor, and then Shift S, cursor to selected, and then Shift S, selection to cursor. So we have this. Now that is a curve, so it doesn't need a fill mode. So this is the first thing. Okay, then if we do an array on this, it shouldn't be in Arabic, and we can't pick this object. If we do also a curve, not a hair curve, wait. So what the curve will do is it will try to So this is not what we're trying to do. It shouldn't be like this. The thing is, we should be able to So it's an object offset here. If we add the counts, if we change the axis, nope. All right, let's ask the almighty let's ask the almighty Google. So circular array in Blender.
Hello, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to make circular array with different methods in Blender. The first method is spin tool. Press Shift-A and add a UV sphere. The spin tool element E cursor tab C hold the angle of the rotation.
Alright, so this
Add
is
a UV sphere.
So the spin tool isn't something that I want to do because it's not modifiable, because I want this procedural effect.
Move the sphere on the y-axis little bit. The center of the rotation will be origin to 3D cursor. Distance and rotational change between arrayed objects. Press Shift-A and add an empty object. Select the sphere and choose the empty object with the eyedropper. Select the empty object and rotate on the z-axis. We need to determine how many spheres we want to add in the circular array. For example, let's set the z rotation value to 36. It means we're going to divide 360 degrees by 36 degrees. So it will give us the number of the spheres in the array. Select the spheres equally spaced at 30 together.
Alright, that's the weird one. But I think that's the one that's the most procedural with what we have. So let's keep it on the X. And what we should do apparently is, for some reason, rotate this. Alright, so what we're gonna do is Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift-A. We need to create an empty. I'm hiding all the extras, I need to bring them back. That empty is too big. Let's make it maybe like 20 centimeters or even less, 10 centimeters. Let's, for now, remove this array. So we are rotating from the center, which is fine. So it's on the Y. We're rotating on the Y. And what we should do is bring back the array. We need to rotate on the Y. Add the offsets, that's fine. And then the object offset on the empty, and this empty, let's rotate it on the Y by something. That's perfect. That's looking just good. That's it, man. Let's see. Should we rotate on this? Should we rotate on that? Should we keep it on the X and then rotate the... Okay, so what I'm gonna do is rotate this on the Y, but I'm gonna try to do different axes in here. Maybe I should have watched the full video.
Raised at 36 degrees. So it will give us the number of 6 degree weakation value array and rotate object. Select the sphere and choose the empty object with the eyedropper. Select the empty object and rotate on the z-axis. We need to
Alright, so what he's doing here, he's not offsetting on anything. Why is the other one exploding like this? That's the question. Alright, let's apply the transforms. In each stream, I got stuck on something. So if you wanna see me suffer, that's the place to be. So this one doesn't really matter anymore. We mostly care about this. This one, let's reset it. So the dimensions in here, the scale is in here is fine, the scale in here is fine. Let's add the array back. Let's remove the offset. There are no offsets. Let me see, do they have?
determine how many and dropper.
It says a fixed count with the object offset. This is it. That's only it. So object offset on the empty, and now when you rotate the empty on the Z, you get this. When you rotate the empty on the Y, you get this. So I think it was a scale issue. It was mostly a scale issue, but let me see. Why are we changing the rotation now? This is the question. Why is it changing the rotation of the first object? So I think it's reverting back to the original rotation. Yeah. So the thing is, that's it. We need to apply rotation as well. So you need to apply rotation because it's not adding the transformation of the object, neither the scale nor the rotation. So this is the issue. So when you do the arrays, when you do the array, it's reverting back to the original transformation. So what we want to do is we want to add a lot more. So this rotation on the Y is 40 degrees. I think we'll do something like 5. Yeah. Something like 5 is fine. I think I'll fix this. We don't want them to merge. So maybe we need to cut them somewhere here before they just come together as one piece. But this can be fixed. That's not a big issue. So for the time being, okay, let's just check how many of these we need. So this is it. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want. So let's take all of that, isolate it. That was solved faster than I was expecting, by the way. So even if we keep them like this, you can see that's already fine. We already dealt with this issue already. Now what we should do is go back to let's hide the original one, the array. Then what we should do in here is somehow extrude this, like somehow create a thickness for this and extrude it. The question is how. So should it be a extruding doesn't work. Duplicating it, maybe bevel. Does bevel work in this context? It doesn't. So if we duplicate this, and there used to be make a segment. So this is cyclical in here, or maybe it created a segment, I'm not sure. Yeah, so I created a segment in here. So make a segment and make a segment, but now this is super weird. What will happen if we just convert this? So let's delete this. Okay, so let me convert this to a mesh. Delete this face, delete this edge. Do we still have the array? No, we don't. That's fine. We know how to do it. Okay, so let's think about this a bit. Let me 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. The first thing first, let's delete these vertices. Keep that. It's control. So delete these vertices. Extrude this edge. Something like this. We can delete that face. And just clean this a bit more. Then we can go back to array. No relative offset on object. Pick this and just push the count up. And now I think we should pick one of the edges and slide it a bit upwards. Then we can add a solidify that can go like this. Ta-da! That's looking good. That's looking better than I expected, actually. All right, let's move on. Stop admiring our work and let's move on. So for all of this, with the empty, this is it. That's it. Let's create a collection. Let's call it AC compressor. It's gonna lose its line art, I think. It will lose its line art once it refreshes. And that's because the line art is on the building, not on the AC compressors. But that's fine, we can give it a separate line art, that's okay. That's not a big deal. Let's reduce a bit the wireframes even more. Yeah, I like it, this is looking cool. Let's keep on going. What the fuck is this? I thought we were in the same. Ah, yeah. So we just need to select objects. So I've seen that machine tools has something called groups. I need to look into it. I've never used machine tools. I was just watching some videos and I saw it. And groups, I used to do this in Max before, and they are really helpful. So I'm gonna look into this. It's really important. Let's bevel this a bit. Why not? Let's bevel this a bit. I don't like how this is working. I'm gonna wait. The animation back to 0. Okay, so alt right click is the animation. So alt right click and this is 0. Select, expand a bit. How do you expand the selection? Is it the plus button? No. Is it the brackets button? No. So there should be an expand for the selection. Select more, control numpad plus. Yeah. I wanna separate this a little bit just because I wanna bevel these edges as well. Not sure if it will work now since I beveled. Yeah, that's looking fine. Alright, let's go to edit mode for this. Let's delete these faces. And let's just attach. Fill this. That's looking much better. Now let's separate the top part. So it's insisting on selecting, yeah, now it worked. And this, let me see, okay, so that's gonna do. If it's not obvious, I can suffer easy with this stuff. Loop tools, bridges. Oh wow, I have loop tools in here. I didn't know that. Anyways. Hey man, yeah. Let's just do this and move on. So I'm gonna separate this. I'm gonna select it, move up. Select these edges. We don't need this anymore. So first let's burn it. We don't need these anymore. Dissolve. Select all of this. You know what? Select everything. And let's reduce the segments down, that's too much. And then let's pick this, let's fill it. And then let's move to this, let's pick this, and let's fill it. The bevel adds a lot of character. Now since this is separate, I think we can add some details to it. So let's create a. You know what? Instead of booleans, I think we can do this by modeling it. So. All right. So we have 1, 2, and 3 lines, horizontal lines. Now the idea is that we want to let's level them so we can have some equal distances. It is something like this. I'm checking my reference image by the way. But first, let's push this down. You know what? Maybe we should scale on the Z like this. Yep. Now let's bevel. Let's add a cut. Let's add 2 cuts. And then let's scale on the X. Now we can clean this up a little bit. So it's not snapping. It needs to snap. I'm not sure why it's not snapping. Even this side is not snapping. So we need We need this. Yeah, it snapped here. To connect to this, it didn't snap. So in order not to move anything, we just do merge at last. Yeah. And now this is snapping. Let's. Hey man. So what's happening? You know what? Let's delete this face. Something weird is happening in here, I think. Yeah, that's the issue. So this face, this edge, it has double faces. Triple faces. How come? Double edges, triple faces. Okay, so let's merge by distance. It didn't merge anything. Let's check this edge in here. Pick these two edges. We have an edge in here. You know what? Let's delete this face. Let's delete this face. Let's delete this face. What the hell is happening in here? Why? Alright. Let's redo. Hey man, how are you? Linked faces. Delete faces. So this is the issue. Link faces. This duplication of faces and edges. I don't know what happened. Let's just delete this edge. Delete this edge. Pick all of this. Let's fill it again. Connect these properly this time. One, two, three. Five and six. We don't need these, so we can remove them. Then we said that we're gonna add two loop cuts in here, then we're gonna mirror them on the X. We should have normal faces now. I don't know what happened the other try, the first try. Now just to clean up the model a bit, so we don't suffer the same thing that happened like a second ago. Sparky, what's wrong? Let's connect these just for some more. Then we can just extrude this inside a little bit. Yep. That's looking good. Now we need to separate this thing from the frontal part. So the thing is, with this kind of grid, we can just ignore the fan because it's not gonna show. So that's something good. Alright, so let's separate this selection. We have this that doesn't really matter. Let's delete this edge. We don't need it. And now, since this and this are separate, what we can do is move this backward by a little bit to create this kind of edge. We need to do some cleanups, but that's fine. Alright, let's do some cleanups. Let's pick 1, 2, 3, Control X. Pick the vertices, Control X. Now that everything is done, let's pick this, F, we're done. Let's pick this. All of these faces, Control F and grid fill. And that's perfect. Then let's pick this. And then is it control faces, yeah. GY. So now we have this. Since we're here, let's bevel these edges. And this and this. And these. Yep, like this. Let's select everything in here. So we already did a lot of small details for this. That's good. Now let's add some things that the AC compressors have that kind of make it even look cooler. So I'm looking at my reference image. So let me bring it back just so you can all see it. So that's what I'm working on. So now we're gonna add these two, and probably we're gonna do the grids from the sides and like see the back. Of course, we need to add the structure with the wall. And once this is done, I think it will add a lot of character to the project. Okay, now let's do this. So we're using this this object, this side. Let's go to edit mode. Let's just define the locations of the things that we want to do. So I think these are the caps for maybe accessing the electrical wires or the drainage or the electrical chip, the board. So these are removable panels with wires on them, with screws on them. I'm not sure I'm gonna do the screws by modeling. We'll see. So let's, you know what, without this. Let's start with this one. This is the easier one. Let's duplicate, right click, P, separate. Now we have this face, which is flat with a model. Then we can slide it here, slide it a bit here. Trying to see it on a bigger screen. Okay. Push it upwards. Now, let's do first a small extrude, just to give it some thickness. Then let's do an inset. Then let's pick these. Let's do a bevel. Yep, that's fine. Then let's do another inset, something like this. Let's do a small extrude on the Y. Let's make sure that everything is aligned, because I'm working in perspective view. So we did a small extrude on the Y, or on the X, not the Y. Another minor inset, a little bit. And now let's do the big extrude on the X. Take these vertices, push them down. Pick all of these edges and bevel them. We have a small issue in here, and this is the caused by the original bevel. Let's try to fix it somehow. So what I'm gonna try to do is just merge. Let's merge them at some specific point so we can have. So okay, let's merge at last. The same thing in here. We pick the two sides and then the last one and then merge at last. The same thing in here. 1, 2, 3. Merge at last. 1, 2, and then 3. Then merge at last. Now I think we can pick this. You know what? Let's see what will happen. I doubt this will work. I doubt like beveling this will actually bevel. We'll see. Oh, cool. You're too sensitive. Okay. Then let's do a custom shape. Let's try to push the shape a bit more. Now let's clean this up a bit by doing this and maybe this and killing these two. Yeah, that's good. Is it too much? No, that's good, that's good, that's good. 1, 2. Let's do it again. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. Then let's go for the edges. There are lots of add-ons to do all of these cleanups, by the way. I need to start studying these, looking into them. I think it will make life a bit easier. Alright, so this is the first piece that we needed to add. That's fine. That's enough. Let's do the second one. So the second one is a bit more integrated, it seems, but that, I'm not gonna do that. So it looks a bit more embedded in the object. We're not gonna care about this. So again, 3 for faces, Shift D for duplication, right click, P selection. So we have this now. Edit mode, edge mode, Ctrl R, somewhere in here, and let's move this and this a bit on the Y, like this. Pick that face, delete it. Delete the face, not the edge. Yep. Then pick these, extrude it by some distance. Then we should bevel these also by something, doesn't really matter. Then let's insert this like that. Take this, move it down, grab all of this, extrude it like this. We should be able to cut, but it's not cutting. Trying to see if there is like a way to cut through. It's not there, there isn't, so I'm just gonna do the cuts ourselves. So it should be cutting between here and here. Alright, now pick all these edges, move them up somewhere here. Let's join these two here and here. And let's take all of that. Move it a bit up like this. Let's add an edge in here. Let's delete these faces. Let's extrude this face on the Z like this. Fill this and then fill that and then pick these faces. You know what? I think I'm gonna fill it. Then I'm gonna inset it and then I'm gonna extrude it. Now this is where the electricity goes, the cables for everything. Then I'm gonna, you know what, later, let's do this later. Let's first finish the handle where you can hold it. Let's add another cut in here. Then what we should do is insert this by a tiny bit, just like this. Then pick these two edges, scale them on the Y. Yep. Then we can connect this to this and this to this. We should be able to find some connection on the top, but let's just do it something like this for now. Now we can get rid of these faces, these edges, we don't need them. Okay, perfect. Then let's extrude this to the inside. Pick these and move them down on the Z. And let's extrude this a bit to the outside, just a little bit. It doesn't really matter to be very accurate in these, just the illusion. You know what, let's not extrude this, let's do something else. It's just the illusion of details, you know. It's not gonna be functional in the end, it's just visuals. And it's gonna be far away most of the time, so it doesn't really matter. So we need to bevel all of that. So what I'm gonna do is move upwards like this, and this, then maybe this, 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 this and that, this, and let's make the whole way back to here. Let's see what will happen. Reduce the segments, we don't need this much. I think that's fine. My hand's hurting. Okay. So one side is done. Okay, so the other side. I'm just making sure that everything is included. Yeah, now for the other side has grills on it, so let me show you. It's not the same machine, it's different, but there isn't much of differences. So this one has like, this is the handle to hold it from the other side, so you're holding it like this. And then you have some ventilations just for the air to circulate. So I'm gonna use this one. Let's put it here for me to see it. Okay. So again, I'm gonna select all the objects, gonna isolate them. So now we're working on this side. Let me zoom in a bit on here, just so I can see it more. Yeah. So let's separate this completely, yeah? Okay, let's separate this completely, why not? Let's isolate it. Let's clean it up. So we have first the top part where we have the handle somewhere here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So something like this, and then we have, okay, first we have the borders, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 2, 3. Yep, that's it. So technically 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these. Yep. If you insert and set individuals like this, 0.01 maybe. Yeah. And then we extrude inwards. Of course, here there are also grills. Like you have something like small metal fins. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this by geometry. That's too much geometry for it. It can be done by texture. This one, that's fine. And then all you have to do is just finish this piece in here. So let's do this now. So we have something that's inserted. This is not individual insert anymore. So it's something in here. The control is horrible today. That's a joint on the X. Something like this should work just fine. And then let's bevel this with only one segment. And then let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's add a cut in here. Let's insert this. And now let's extrude it to the inside. But the issue is now, let me show you. This is too thin to bevel. So I just want to try to give it a bit more thickness, because I wanna bevel this side, and I wanna bevel these sides. You know what? Let's separate this thing. Let's go to the left view. Alt-Z. Let's separate the whole thing. P selection. But since that's a separate object now, let's pick these faces, these edges actually, not faces. This edge, this edge. I think this is it. Let's try to bevel these, see what happens. Yeah, that's it. And then here, let's just grid fill this. Voila. Now let's pick these. Yeah. Move it a bit down. Scale it a bit up. Move it down. Scale it up. Like this. Again, let's select the objects of the AC compressor. Okay, we have the both sides now. We still have one more thing to do before adding the structure, and this is, I'm gonna show you. Hope it opens fast. So we've been doing this for 1 hour and a bit. That's good. Let's save. Okay, so this opened. My internet in the house depends like on sometimes like on 10 centimeters of setting of the phone. Like I have internet from my phone. So it has to be located in a perfect position for it to be fast, otherwise it will be super slow. Anyways, so we still have these structures to do. We already did all of this. I think I want to do a bit of these, a little bit. I'm not sure how, but it is interesting to create like, because most of the views. Okay, let me remove this since we already have what we want. So whenever you're taking architectural shots anyway, most of the time you're like this, right? And realistically, let's go to the cam. Let's say 28mm lens. So you're something like this. You're always gonna see what's happening in here, right? So we still have to add the structure and a little bit of the illusion of details, let's say. And once we're done, we can duplicate it 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 in here. So I'm assuming this is for this room, this is for the shop, this is here for the kitchen, and then this for this shop, this maybe for this shop, or maybe for something else, maybe for the bedrooms or something. Technically, we have 1, 2, 3 in here, so we can still add. We can still add one in here if you want. Anyways, let's not waste time on this for now. We can do this later. It's aesthetic. It's not about really functional. So, AC compressor, right click, select the object, and now we ended up with this. All right. Since we're dealing with this face now, let's insert it. Maybe by 0.02, even less, 0.01, something like this. Let's extrude it upwards a bit on the Z. Let's scale it on the Y or on the X, something like this. And now let's scale it on the X, also on the Y. Don't ask me how, but both of them are on the Y. Okay. So what we want to do, the easiest thing to do, let's set the cursor to the selected. Let's set origin to geometry. Let's create the plane. Let's scale it down. Now we're looking from the bottom side. Let's create some shapes. Just planar shapes. So maybe the illusion of details. That's all we need. In the end, we're gonna extrude and bevel these. Maybe we'll add some subdivision surfaces to smooth them out. Why is the picture so far away? Okay, let's put it here. You know what? I can save it, I think. Can I save this? I can save it, yeah. Let's put it on the desktop. Let's add an image editor. Let's upload a new image. Let's open a new image. Technically from the desktop. And this is this. Just so we can see what we are trying to do. Remove a bit of the details, it's too early. I'm not really worried about all of these details. Like, this is too much, I know. But yeah, something like this. So these are just like aluminum profiles that are like maybe calculated on some CAD software just for the most optimization of like the structure. It doesn't really matter. So I think after doing this, say, let's solidify. And, you know, let's push this upward a bit more. Yeah, perfect. That's simple. What's the complexity for it? Doesn't really matter. Okay, let's apply the solidify. Don't press the viewport layer. Okay, that's perfect. Let's pick these edges. You know what? I think we can do it by control. Let's bevel. Let's bevel a bit. So we have an issue with some of these. Like this one. We have, okay. I don't know why we have a lot of duplicate faces, I'm not sure. So when you press Ctrl, it tries to find the shortest path to the next edge, but sometimes it goes on some weird directions, so I try to minimize that, like this one. So the shortest path for it was from here, but instead I wanted to go like this. Yeah, that's perfect. Again, the illusion of details is looking perfect from here for me. Let's do it again. Shift A, mesh, let's add another plane, scale it. Alright, just do something quick now. We're almost done. Let's do something like that. Ouch, 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 ouch. Everything hurts. G to extrude, then extrude something like this. Alright. Again, just to solidify, move a bit upward. Not really, not necessarily a lot. Minus 0.05, that's too much. Minus 0.02, that's perfect. Let's go down. Then let's convert to a mesh. And now all we need to do is you see what happened in here? So the shortest path around these is not this, it goes somewhere different. Okay, this is cool. Let's add a buffer. Let's see it everywhere. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. All right. Yeah, that's cool. So again, the whole purpose is something like this. So it doesn't really matter to capture all of this and that and this and this. That's not the point. It's something really far away, so there's no need to waste time on it. Let's see it from different rendering options, different rendering views. Yeah. Yep. Yep, looking great. All right, let's add the the structures, and we'll call it a day for today. So Shift A, that's easy. Mesh, cube, scale by lot. Somewhere in here, scale on the X. Somewhere in here. Tab, Alt Z, 1. Let's make sure we're on the right selection mode. So G, Z, Z, G on the Y. So these are actually two objects that are bolted together. So this is somewhere in here. Then we have to delete this face. We can grab this edge, move it up, and then we can delete also this face. We can grab this, duplicate it, rotate it by 90 degrees. Now in here, I think, yeah, we can move it on the Y, then move it to be here, but you can scale this on the X a bit. For this one, we don't need this, and we need to add a cut in here, and then we need to move this upwards and move both backwards on the Y. This should be joined with this one. GY. Go back to the top view. G on the Y. Now we should add a solidify. Make it even thickness. So this is like 5 millimeters metal, which is too strong. We can do it even more just for the visuals. That's fine for me for the time being. Honestly, I'm gonna just mirror it for now. We can add bolts, we can add some more details, we can add like a zillion thing, but convert, I'm not interested in this. Convert to origin to geometry, and then we should mirror this. After the solidify, let's mirror it on this. Can we offset a bit or not? Nope. Is this a bit better center? Yeah, this is a better center, I think. So let's change this offset to this. Yep. Let's push this downwards and this as well. That's it. That's an AC compressor for now. So I'm gonna delete this. I think I'm gonna add line art for it. So I'm gonna duplicate the line art, and I'm gonna change the building to AC compressor. But for this one, we can do maybe like 2 for the line thickness. Let's say AC compressor line art. Maybe 3. Why isn't it showing? So this is the AC compressor line art. It's an AC compressor. Should we do it on this silhouette? Should we do it individual silhouettes? Yeah. Let's add it to the AC compressor collection. So in here we have everything. Select. Can I duplicate the whole collection? I can. That's cool. Can I move it? Let's get out of the camera. Select objects. G. GG. Now the cool thing about the AC compressors is that we can add wires, we can add copper pipes, we can add like some water drainages. All of these will add a lot of realism or a lot of nice details to it, to the project. So I'm excited about that. All right, now AC compressors tool, select the object, move it back, rotate it a bit. It's a bit heavy. I'm not gonna move this. I'm not gonna rotate this. I'm gonna keep it as my reference for now. I'm just gonna move it backwards. I'm gonna select everything, top view. Just gonna move it back a bit. I'm not gonna rotate it. And I'm gonna duplicate the whole collection. I'm gonna select. Wait. So, unhide everything because I don't know what I did. So first things first, let's select everything in here. This is that. Let's hide it. Select everything in here. And let's move this here. This is gonna be somewhere here. So one, this is this one, select objects. Okay, Alt H. This is this one. So this is this one. Is it and put it in the AC compressors collection? Yeah. So we have this. What's this? Just the line art. Alright, so this is the AC compressor 1. This is the AC compressor 2. This is the AC compressor 3. And this is the AC compressor 4. So we need this one. Let me check something. Alright. So let's select all of these objects. Go to top view. Move it here without dying. Too heavy. The file is too heavy. Come on, man, come on. Just rotate it. Just rotate it a bit. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Then let's move things down. I'm not sure why are we dying. Let me see. Is it because of the profile? It could be because of the profile. Let's see. I'm not sure. Not really optimistic about it. Okay. So let's unhide everything. Let's go here. Let's save it. Let's hide this. I'm not sure what's happening and why it's dying now. Not sure where can I see the statistics actually. How many polygons do we have? Shouldn't have this much. 55,000. Right? Right. Is it the line art? Is it the camera? So sometimes when you're in the cam view and it's calculating all the line art, it's kind of crashing a lot. That's what I'm noticing. It's looking cool. All right. That's it for today. Thank you for your patience. Me trying to figure things out is not that fun, but as I say every time, like this time is gonna be like this, next time is gonna be like a short, like 3 seconds short, where I'm showing you like this is how you can do a circular array, and it's gonna be like 10-second thing, tip and trick. We're learning things online. Anyways, thank you so much.